absolute beast. 1,177 brake horsepower, supercharged V8, 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. So really, really super fast car here.
It looks fast, if a car can look fast.
Yeah, which is where, yeah.
And it sounds brutal as well. Like, is this street legal? If this revved up outside my house, I'd be fuming.
So amazingly, this is street legal, yes. I don't really know. This has a really cool wing that not only moves forward and backwards, but also left and right, depending on when you steer. And the reason behind that is to give you a real increase in grip. So yeah, it's a super amazing part of engineering. And obviously we've got all that detail locked up in Forza Horizon. So yeah, really, really cool car. And you'll be able to get this by completing our new feature, which is a photo challenge. We've got a new photo challenge in summer called #TheHeadlineAct. So head over to Festival Playlist, complete that challenge, and you'll be able to...
Yeah.
Great. So this is the Ford Escort Mk II from 1977, 250 brake horsepower, inline-4 engine, really awesome rally car that was driven by lots of notably awesome drivers, notably Bjorn Weregaard. He was the first WRC champion in this car. He used this very one here.
It feels like to me this is like the classic car of cars. This is like the car that my dad always went on about, his favorite Ford Escort.
Which we'll come to in a bit. This car actually pretty much took the main stage from the GT70. So this was kind of Ford's main showcase rally car. The GT70 just couldn't quite get to it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. You can get this car by completing 50% of winter in the festival playlist.
There you go. You can have the, well, I say iconic. Every car is iconic in its own way, isn't it? I feel like every single one is its own story.
Yeah, exactly. We picked them because they're all, we picked the iconic ones. So it doesn't, it makes perfect sense that they're all iconic. That's great. Cool. So this is the 1985 Mazda RX-7. Beautiful car, and the first of the generation, the first generation of RX-7. Absolutely awesome. Very, very iconic. I'd say in terms of Mazdas, it's one of the most iconic cars that they put out. It's got a really cool rotary engine as well. So it's different to piston engine, but what that means is it's got a really smooth but high revving engine, so it sounds really loud. And yeah, really, really cool car.
Yeah, and how do you unlock this car in the Series 24 update?
So you'll be able to unlock this car by completing the adequately named Midtown Mazdaness Championship, that's the one, in spring, festival playlist for spring. So make sure you hop into that season event, complete it, and you'll get your very own hands on the first RX-7. So yeah, super exciting.
Amazing. And finally, we've got the car we teased about.
The one we've all been waiting to see. It's the Ford GT70. So this one's got a really interesting story. It was designed to compete against cars like the Lancia Stratos and the Alpine A110, which were dominating time at rallies at the point. So this was kind of Ford's, was hoping to be Ford's answer to that. But it didn't really live up to the hopes that they'd had and didn't really perform that well. So it's kind of got an interesting story there, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a rare car, isn't it? Bit of a very few made, I've heard.
Yes. So there were only 6 of them made. They set out to make about, I think, 500 to fit in with homologation rules, but only 6 were made. And then of those 6, only 3 of them were raced. So yeah, it's a bizarre story. But of the 3,
really, this is a car that only potentially 6 people in the world have been able to drive properly, and you can do it. You can drive it. That's so cool.
Exactly. You can all get your hands on one. And that's what I love about it. It's like the story behind this car is the car that never was, right? And but now you can get